ending of Loki can only be described as equivalent to Fortnite's black hole back in chapter 1. But what the heck actually happened at the end of Loki episode 4? And what's next? Well, in this video, I'm going to be discussing exactly that and sharing some theories that could shed light on what will happen in the 5th episode. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get started. The entire premise of the 4th episode is Timely and Obi trying to create a throughput multiplier so that the temporal loom can handle all of the new branches. And once it's created, Victor Timely urges that he goes in, and that results in him dying because there was too much radiation. And because the loom's throughput wasn't multiplied, the loom explodes. And now while we aren't 100% confirmed what happens after, since the episode abruptly ends, focused on Loki's face, one can come to the logical conclusion that it's gone. Everything that once was and will be is gone. Now that we got a quick recap out of the way, I want to present you with my main theory, backed up by theories of the people in the Marvel Studios subreddit. My theory is that everything that has happened thus far has all been a part of He Who Remains' plan, and the multiverse exploding is what he wanted to happen. And I actually believe that in the TVA guidebook that Victor Timely had, special notes for Timely were included in the book that allowed for this process to happen. This all stems from the fact that Timely was so fascinated by the hot cocoa machine. Timely was so adamant in visiting the cocoa machine that he totally forgot that the universe was essentially about to die. He was more interested in the cocoa machine. This leads me to believe that somewhere in the TVA guidebook, He Who Remains told Timely to go to this machine. You might be wondering, why would He Who Remains want Timely to go to this seemingly unimportant machine? Well, that's because when he went to the cocoa machine, it led to the capture by Renslayer. And remember from the episode as Minutes was being rebooted, she was saying that she had to tell Timely something. Well, I think that was the entire reason why Kang wanted Timely to go to the room in the first place, so Miss Minutes could give some information to Timely. And that actually leads me to believe that Miss Minutes isn't actually helping Renslayer, but is in on all of this and is actually helping He Who Remains. Something else I found on Reddit that helps support my case is how after Timely gets his temporal aura scanned, he suddenly wants to be the one to place the throughput multiplier. Something a Redditor noticed that was right after he came out of the machine, his stutter suddenly disappeared. That could mean that another Kang's consciousness could have been uploaded to Timely, which made him so adamant on being the one to go outside. My second theory is on why HWR chose Timely in the first place to carry out the mission. And by the way, HWR stands for He Who Remains. I just don't feel like saying that all the time. But back to the video. I believe that Timely was chosen because of how early in time he was. Most of what Timely wanted to create was limited by what was available to him at his time. So armed with that knowledge, I think He Who Remains chose Timely because he knew he couldn't rebel or become one of the evil Kangs like the one in Quantumania. Now, my third theory is on what will actually happen in the 5th or 6th episode of Loki. So recently a mid-season trailer for Loki dropped, and in that we gained valuable information on what happens in these last 2 episodes. And from the mid-season trailer, I actually theorized that the downfall of the TVA meant that everybody that worked in the TVA before gets put back into their respective places in the main timeline. This is mainly backed up by the fact that Mobius is a sports vehicle seller, and throughout the 1st and 2nd seasons, it's implied that his role in the timeline was something similar to this, because of his interest in jet skis. However, Loki still somehow retains his memories, and he goes back to time slipping like at the beginning of the season, which is seen here, where he time slips in front of Mobius's workplace. And because Loki remembers everything about the TVA, he's gonna have to go on a hunt to find everybody that worked in the TVA and is part of like the main characters, and tell them what has happened thus far and try to re-jog their memories. And I actually think that he fails at this, but then he slips back into a time where the TVA isn't destroyed yet, so he has basically a second chance at everything. And this is because in the mid-season trailer, it basically recaps what's happened so far in the season, but every little scene has differences from what actually happened in the first 4 episodes. Like in this scene where they're having another run at fixing the loom, Mobius is actually in the room, and Sylvie is there as well. One little Easter egg I found in the trailer is that when Obi is explaining how Mobius is going to lose his skin when he goes outside to fix the temporal loom, on the monitor beside Mobius, it shows the word skin with the question mark written. I'm not sure exactly what this could mean, but if you have any idea, be sure to put it down in the comments below. And comment down any theories that you have for the 5th and 6th episode of Loki. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in my next video.